NZK, Dearborn Heights, Detroit, your ethnic superstation at 690 days, 680 nights. WNZK has available a few good hours of airtime for a few good programs to serve their communities. Radio is better than ever in targeting an audience that listens to what you say. Learn more about this exciting radio broadcasting opportunity by calling WNZK Radio at 248-557-3500.
Welcome to the bright side of aging. My name is Ike Engelbaum. I'm a pharmacist and the publisher of AmericanSeniorGazette.org. It has been wisely said, you cannot help getting older, but you can help getting old. It has also been said that age is a matter of the mind. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. My purpose in doing the show is so that seniors and caregivers can share their ideas and questions on how we can age gracefully and in a vertical position for as long as our good genes will allow. And if we've inherited bad genes, how to outwit them. Our topics include senior housing, financial, legal, safety, travel, health issues, interesting senior events in the community, and most of all, tips on how to put old on hold. When it's time to move, don't trust all your memories and most prized possessions to just some guys with a truck. Get personalized first-class treatment from bonded and experienced moving professionals. If you're confused about all the details involved in moving from one household to another, call 1-888-489-8980. Is always the concern of who should I call about the utilities? How shall I handle my household appliances? What should I do about my pets? What do I need to handle in advance of the move? For a free brochure titled Practical Hints to Make Moving Day Easier, call Aberdeen Van Lines at 1-888-489-8980. We can even help you in selling your home or any furniture that you may no longer wish for your next move. Let Aberdeen help make your move a dream. So call 1-888-489-8980 now.
If you need a helping hand to stay at home, or maybe you'd like somebody to provide transportation or grocery shopping or run errands for you, or maybe you're going to need help with bathing or personal grooming, or you need home renovations to enable you to stay in that home safely and securely. Or maybe you can't leave your home, but you need somebody to come in and do things like a doctor, a nurse, a podiatrist, a dentist, or to have your prescriptions delivered to you. Well, House Calls on Wheels is the answer to all of that. House Calls on Wheels provides both medical and non-medical services in your home. And all the medical services are covered by insurance. The non-medical services start as low as $10 an hour. So if you or someone you know needs a helping hand at home, call House Calls on Wheels for a free in-home consultation. And that toll-free number is 1-888-489-8980. All right? That's 1-888-489-8980.
Hey, and welcome, and hope your day is off to a running start, or at least moving quickly, or something, or just moving. I'm reminded of that story about the three guys getting together for breakfast each morning, and they usually talk about the news and what's going on, and also try to get people involved in each other's lives. And one day one guy says, you know, I know this is supposed to be a fun get-together, but I thought we'd get a little bit serious today, and I'm wondering, we all know we're going to die. If you had something that you'd want someone to say as they walk by your casket or coffin, what would you like to hear someone say? Well, one guy says, I'd like to hope to hear or have someone say that, boy, he was the most educated guy that I knew, and any time I got stuck about anything, I called him, and he got me out of that dilemma. And the next guy says, you know what, I'd like to hear someone say that, boy, he was the most enthusiastic, energetic guy that any time I was down and out, I'd call him, and he'd pick up my spirits and made me feel better about the day. Third guy says, you know what I'd really like to hear? I'd like to hear someone say that, gee, I think this guy is moving. So you have to adopt the philosophy of moving, and I am really impressed. One of the joys I have in my career is I get books sent to me about different aspects of life. And I'm so excited to have Jim Miller, who is the creator and editor of Savvy Senior. It's a weekly question and answer column for seniors and those who support them. He has over 18 million readers and publishes in more than 400 newspapers and magazines. And we talked before I got on the air about maybe incorporating a lot of his stuff in our upcoming issues, The Bright Side of Aging, which we're planning on doing an email newsletter version, and hopefully we can have it downloaded for printing. And Jim Miller not only is a delightful guy to talk to, but he's savvy. And I think he's a senior, so he's a savvy senior. And he's the most widely read senior column in the U.S. After his parents died within 3 weeks of each other in 2000, he started writing the column to help him through the grieving process. Savvy Senior has been featured in the New York Times, Time Magazine, The Today Show, and more. And hopefully we'll be part of that more. Is that right, Jim Miller?
Yeah, that is exactly right. Ike, how you doing? Thanks for having me on your program.
Well, my delight, and I cannot tell you how excited I am about having you on the air, because we're always looking for interesting information, and I am hoping to incorporate your various editorials and things into the magazine. And you know, you fulfill something that I've come across over my years on this planet, and that is many times a personal situation creates another opportunity, and I hate to say it as opportunity, but a new idea. And I commend you for taking a sad situation of losing your parents, and then in a way to console yourself, you came up with these various articles and also these cards, and you've got a series of 50 questions that will help you learn more about your loved ones. And it's fantastic. It's my kind of stuff. They're regular playing size type cards, and they have provocative questions on them. So what was the reasoning for having the Talk of a Lifetime series?
Well, the Talk of a Lifetime is a campaign that kind of alerts people to the issue of connecting a little bit better. There's really two reasons behind it. The first is to help families connect better with their older loved ones. It's kind of about getting to understand our parents or grandparents more as people versus just mom and dad or grandma and grandpa, because, you know, most people, they know their loved ones according to the role that they fill in our lives. They really don't know them maybe as intimately as a person as they might just as mom or dad or grandma or grandpa. The second part is really very important, too, that It's about having important conversations about end of life, about how people want to be remembered, and about what they want or how they want things handled after they're gone. Because these are conversations that most families don't have because, it's awkward or uncomfortable, or people can put it off to the next day, or they don't think about it. So the whole campaign between Have a Talk of a Lifetime is about connecting with your older loved ones and then having important conversations about end of life that can really make a difference for a lot of people.
And what I like about it is that the cards actually ask meaningful questions, and I've said it over the years how sad it is that you find out about people that were important in your life. You find out background information about them at their funeral, and it's so sad. And you're 100% right. It's not exactly a tip-top way of starting a family gathering by asking people about, so what do you want to be remembered for? But your cards,
exactly.
So when do you think you're going to die, or something like that? Or if you ask in a sort of an ambiguous type way, you say, what do you think, I'm going to die now, or something? So you suddenly create an adversarial relationship when you're trying to do the exact opposite. And the way the cards were made up, I would imagine it took you quite a bit of time to put these cards together, did it?
Well, I didn't make the cards. So the cards we're talking about, they're called conversation cards, and they're part of the campaign, the Have a Talk of a Lifetime campaign. And the conversation cards are to get families talking and getting to become more reacquainted with the generations. And the idea behind that too, Ike, is kids today and young people today, and even middle-aged people are glued to their phones. We've become kind of an antisocial society because people are just addicted to their phones. And we don't have conversations. We don't have storytelling as much like we used to. People don't read in-depthly like they used to. So the cards are a tool. They're part of the tool of the Have a Talk of a Lifetime campaign. And they're a deck of 50 cards that have questions on them. Some of the questions are kind of lighthearted. Some of them are more serious that can help you learn about your loved one a little bit differently. So it's a great game to be able to play. You're sitting around the dinner table with your family, or if you're on vacation with grandma and grandpa, pull out the deck of cards, put the phone, the tablet, the computer down, and then you can play. Everybody takes a card, and then you answer the question. And it's a fun, intimate way to be able to understand, your loved ones and get to know them more intimately and know them more as a person. And, if you don't mind, I was going to tell you a quick story, which was really, you just kind of preluded into it.
Tell me a long story. It's okay.
Well, so you were talking about, after you find out about your loved ones, kind of after they die. When my dad passed away, my dad was a World War II veteran, so he was not really very open. He didn't talk a lot about personal things. He just was not a very intimate. He didn't have the capability of being very intimate. So after he died, I was standing around talking with some of his friends from high school and some of his friends from when he was in his early 20s. And they were telling me stories about my dad that were shocking to me because my dad was 41 when I was born. So I only knew him. And, when you're young, you don't know anything except what's in your own little world. So I didn't really know him until he was an older man, really, in his 50s and 60s, and he died in his 70s. So when they were telling me stories about how he was when he was 18, 19, 20 years old, it was like, no, my dad didn't do that. I was so surprised. And it's really funny because he did things that, most 18, 19, 20-year-olds, but when you hear that that's your dad was doing that, it just really was funny and kind of, I don't know, it just struck me. And I wish I would have known that, when he was alive, because it helps you just connect better. And
Right.
It was, and it took that. It took his funeral and his friends to tell me about it. Because, I mean, I've always known of a lot of his old friends from high school, but I didn't really know them. They were friends of my dad's. I just knew them as, their names, So anyway, that is kind of my story that kind of plays into this whole thing, this Talk of a Lifetime. That's why I think this campaign, this Talk of a Lifetime campaign, is so valuable, because it helps families connect from generation to generation, and it helps you have those important conversations about end of life too. They're kind of combined together.
Well, it's a great idea. Have you had any experience using these cards, or in your personal life? Have you actually implemented these cards?
I have. I have played. We've played a couple of times different games with my wife and her family. Just horsing around, and it's a lot of fun. And I mean, the cards have just a wide variety of questions on them, like for example, how do you want to be remembered, or what is the best lessons you learned from your mom or your dad or your other role model? What personal events have most shaped your life? Who's been the most influential person in your life? What's the scariest thing that ever happened to you? So just a whole bunch of different questions that can kind of get you laughing and talking and getting to know each other a lot better.
Right, and actually, I assume, I've got a friend of mine who really likes to entertain, and I like to eat, so it works out really terrific. And she actually has sort of a theme to each get-together, which is a lot of fun, and I can see that anybody out there that, feels awkward about it, this, in a way, I visualize it very much like when you watch TV, and you got even when they deliver the news, there's somebody in the background standing there with cards to prompt them as to what they're going to be saying. So
no doubt.
Pretend you're on TV.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
Gee, I want to get into some of your articles as well when we get back from our break, and as far as how people can get involved, and how to get these cards in their hands so they can play them. So don't go away. We will be right back. When it's time to move, don't trust all your memories and most prized possessions to just some guys with a truck. Get personalized first-class treatment from bonded and experienced moving professionals. If you're confused about all the details involved in moving from one household to another, call 1-888-489-8980. Is always the concern of who should I call about the utilities? How shall I handle my household appliances? What should I do about my pets? What do I need to handle in advance of the move? For a free brochure titled Practical Hints to Make Moving Day Easier, call Aberdeen Van Lines at 1-888-489-8980. We can even help you in selling your home or any furniture that you may no longer wish for your next move. Let Aberdeen help make your move a dream. So call 1-888-489-8980 now.
If you need a helping hand to stay at home, or maybe you'd like somebody to provide transportation or grocery shopping or run errands for you, or maybe you're going to need help with bathing or personal grooming, or you need home renovations to enable you to stay in that home safely and securely. Or maybe you can't leave your home, but you need somebody to come in and do things like a doctor, a nurse, a podiatrist, a dentist, or to have your prescriptions delivered to you. Well, House Calls on Wheels is the answer to all of that. House Calls on Wheels provides both medical and non-medical services in your home. and all the medical services are covered by insurance. The non-medical services start as low as $10 an hour. So if you or someone you know needs a helping hand at home, call House Calls on Wheels for a free in-home consultation. And that toll-free number is 1-888-489-8980. All right? That's 1-888-489-8980.
And welcome back. And we have Jim Miller, for those of you who didn't hear the first part, who is the creator and editor of Savvy Senior, which is a weekly question and answer column for seniors and those who support them. And Jim is actually involved not only with his columns and looking forward to publishing some of his thoughts and essays, and Jan Olson, who's the editor of our magazine Bright Side of Aging, is here in studio. So Jim, I'll have you introduce, or Jan, introduce yourself to Jim by phone.
Well, hello, Jim.
Hi, Jan. How are you?
I am wonderful. Thank you very much. And I'm very, very intrigued with the things that you're doing here. Ike does have the deck of cards with him, and I would really love to have had the opportunity to use this idea when my own parents and grandparents were at the end of their lives.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. You know, these cards. Another thing that a lot of families have used them for is a great way. This is something you can pass on to your kids and their kids and so forth. Is to create like a video or audio recording of your loved one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so the questions that you can ask, because you know to be able to capture it on video. I mean, it's so easy today with a smartphone. You know. And where you can actually use that to pass it down to future generations about, you know, how your loved one feels about certain things and what they wish for the future of you and how they want to be remembered and what their legacy is. These are cards that really give you great questions to be able to ask and to be able to do a project like that. And it's a great thing to share with your family.
Well, you know, I have a series of what I like to call Ikeisms, and because of my first name. Some of them, quite frankly, I just repeat and give credit where I can. Others I sort of make up in a different slight version. And this has been said before, that there is nothing in life that is always necessarily bad, and nothing in life that is always necessarily good. By that, we were talking about these phones, how people are using them in a negative way, and just brought out a great idea, at least for me, and that is that if people come when they got all their smartphones, what you do is make it a project that only one phone would be made available for personal dialogue. All the other phones you put on the table, and they get them as they leave. So,
Yeah.
So with the video capability, you could actually implement exactly the conversations that you have. And you know, I'm looking at your deck of card life. There's a lot to talk about in the deck of cards, and to me, I was wondering whether you've considered actually having people submit questions that they would have found useful, similar to the chicken book, chicken soup books.
yeah. Chicken. You're talking like chickens for the chicken soup for the soul book.
Yeah,
you're talking about.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. You know, that's a good point, Ike. Like I said, I didn't make the cards. This is the cards are one of the tools of the Have the Talk of a Lifetime campaign.
Uh-huh.
But that would be something that they should definitely think about. I'll pass that on. That's a good thought.
Right. And in your particular situation, then about your columns, I got the note from you about you'll be discussing simple gadgets that can help older drivers.
Yeah, it's one of them. Yeah.
Is there any particular gadget that jumps out in your mind that you have in that column?
Oh goodness, there's probably I'd say there's a good dozen different types of gadgets depending on what you need. If you need help, if you have mobility problems getting into and out of the car, there's a device that's called the car cane. It's the Empson car cane. It's like an $8 item. Works like a little portable handle that goes in the striker plate of your door. All cars have them. It's like a little U-shaped striker plate.
Right.
So it gives you a little support handle to help pull you up out of the car.
Wow.
It's a super popular device. Another really popular device for people that have upper body range of motion problems, where they have trouble looking back over their shoulder to back up or merge into traffic. You can get what they call a all-view mirror. It's a super wide rear-view mirror that extends your vision out quite a ways. So if you can't look over your shoulder, it gives you a lot more vision for merging into traffic and for backing up, and even parallel parking. So those are two really popular items that you can get. But there's all different types of gripping tools. If you have arthritis in your hands, like gripping the steering wheel or turning the key or opening the gas cap, or even being able to maneuver the seat belts can be a little bit challenging for older adults. But there's a lot of different extension tools for that.
Right.
And they've even created, this is kind of a unique device, more of a high-tech device. It's like a medical alert device for the car. It's called the Split Second. It plugs into your cigarette lighter. So if you need help, you can simply press the button, and it will know your location because of GPS tracking. It can be able to submit help for you. It can even maybe give you directions if you get lost. And if you're in an accident, it would recognize an accident and automatically call you to see if you're okay and what kind of help you would need. So there's lots of great things out there that can help seniors drive safer and drive longer.
Yeah, well, we'll have to get that into the magazine. How can people get the cards? What's the procedure?
Yeah, so the cards are available through the Have a Talk of a Lifetime website, and the website is simply talkofalifetime.org. So it's Talk of a Lifetime altogether. So it's talkofalifetime.org. They can get the cards. They also have a bunch of different guides that can give you all different types of questions and conversation starters that are wonderful. If you have any interest in making an audio or video recording of your older loved one they can kind of encapsulate their life, kind of a legacy story. This is a great tool to be able to give you questions to ask that can really help facilitate that. But talkofalifetime.org is the place to be able to get those resources.
Well, they certainly have got their act together. And by the way, do you know why a chicken has a GPS system?
No.
The answer is so he'd know how to get across the street. It's supposed to be funny at that point. But not too funny. Anyway, as far as your columns are concerned, do you have a website for that? Or
Yep, I do. And my website is SavvySenior.org, and Savvy has two V's in it, so it's just SavvySenior.org.
Well,
and you can find me through there. You can... And you can also, if people want to read content from papers, they can just Google Savvy Senior, and they'll find pages of articles from newspapers that the column runs in. So
wow, well, that's fantastic. We're going to look forward to more conversations.
Very good.
Right now, I only have enough time for my best parting thought that I could come up with, which is, yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. Today is a gift, and that's why we call it the present. Please enjoy your present by looking and living life with the right side of aging. Welcome to the Entrepreneurs Network radio show. Our mission is to interview successful entrepreneurs who are willing to share with us their ideas and experiences, both the successes and the failures. Because as it has been jokingly said, you should learn from the mistakes of others because you'll never live long enough to make them all yourself. My name is Ike Engelbaum, and I'm the founder of the Entrepreneurs Network of Michigan, which is a group of motivated people that are all interested in helping each other and achieving our personal and professional goals. Please check out our website, entrepreneursnetworkofmichigan.com, for meeting schedule as well as self-improvement material. Our philosophy is that if it's to be, it's up to me. When it's time to move, don't trust all your memories and most prized possessions to just some guys with a truck. Get personalized first-class treatment from bonded and experienced moving professionals. If you're confused about all the details involved in moving from one household to another, call 1-888-489-8980. Is always the concern of who should I call about the utilities? How shall I handle my household appliances? What should I do about my pets? What do I need to handle in advance of the move? For a free brochure titled Practical Hints to Make Moving Day Easier, call Aberdeen Van Lines at 1-888-489-8980. We can even help you in selling your home or any furniture that you may no longer wish for your next move. Let Aberdeen help make your move a dream. So call 1-888-489-8980 now.
If you need a helping hand to stay at home, or maybe you'd like somebody to provide transportation or grocery shopping or run errands for you, or maybe you're going to need help with bathing or personal grooming, or you need home renovations to enable you to stay in that home safely and securely. Or maybe you can't leave your home, but you need somebody to come in and do things like a doctor, a nurse, a podiatrist, a dentist, or to have your prescriptions delivered to you. Well, House Calls on Wheels is the answer to all of that. House Calls on Wheels provides both medical and non-medical services in your home. And all the medical services are covered by insurance. The non-medical services start as low as $10 an hour. So if you or someone you know needs a helping hand at home, call House Calls on Wheels for a free in-home consultation. And that toll-free number is 1-888-489-8980. All right? That's 1-888-489-8980.
And welcome, and just a friendly reminder, Thursday is coming up tomorrow, and Thursday I'd like for you to put on your calendar our Entrepreneur Network of Michigan meetings that we are having at the Level 1 Bank, 37100 Woodward, southeast corner of Big Beaver and Woodward, and that's in Bloomfield Hills. We have got a private room in the area and of the bank, and so we have privacy, and guess what? We're surrounded by money. So as the movie McGuire says, show me the money. We can show you the money. Unfortunately, you have to have a bank account to get some of that money, and that we can assist you, and we always have a great time. It's 9:15 to 10:30, and the price is right. It's free. We have coffee and snacks, and you get a chance to introduce yourself and share your thoughts about your business ventures and all, and if you decide to become a member, you'll have the opportunity to present yourself to our group and improve on your communication skills. And if you have a pencil in hand or a pen, I'm really excited about being involved with Thai Corporation. Thai is probably one of the largest entrepreneur groups on international, and they're going to have a free seminar July 26th, and that's 5:30 to 7:30 at Techtown. And Techtown is at 440 Burrow Street in Detroit. And you're in for a real treat because Michael Angelo Caruso, who is an international motivational speaker as well as coach, business coach, is going to be discussing the topic, everything is a presentation, so that, you know, a lot of times you think in your everyday activities you're still going to wing it. Well, Michael Caruso has made a career out of assisting entrepreneurs to really be the best that they could be. I've had the privilege of having him as a speaker numerous times at our meetings, and he is a dynamic person that you'll definitely walk out stimulated and also smarter. And likewise at our breakfast meetings on Thursdays, I pride myself that you walk out smarter than you walked in. And if you're interested in finding out more about us, just check out enomichigan.com, or if you'd like to log on to meetup/ENOMichigan, and then you'll be registered. We do like to have a count of the number of people that come, and I'll repeat my toll-free number twice, which is 888-489-8980. That's 888-489-8980. Just leave a message. Hey, Ike, I plan on coming because we want to know how many chairs to put out. We have a limited amount of space. We try to limit it to around 25 maximum, because in an hour or so, in order for people to get to know each other really well, you have to have a group that indeed can speak to one another. And one of our members is in studio with me, and she is a talented lady. In fact, she not only is an entrepreneur in her own right, but actually has a company that assists us in putting our magazine, The Bright Side of Aging, together, and we're working on our next edition, so stand or sit by. Jan Olson's company is called Essential Print and Design. Hello, Jan Olson.
Hello, Ike Engelbaum. Good to see you this morning.
Oh, yes, ma'am. And I look forward to seeing you any mornings.
Yes.
And I know you got a very hectic schedule, so you don't always have a chance to join us, but you do whenever you can. And I can understand that. And I always encourage people that are members of our group, go where the money is. So if you got something that's about to happen money-wise that goes into your bank account, by all means go there first. But we sort of try to prime the pump. And as you know, Jan, our meetings are intended to help you connect with other fellow entrepreneurs, and we start off our meetings with the proverbial 60-second elevator pitch. So pretend you're at the meeting, Jan Olson. What is your 60-second elevator pitch?
Do I have to stand?
Yeah, you're on.
Thank you. Hello, my name is Jan Olson, and I'm with the Essential Print and Design, and I'm also representing the Essential Group of Business Solutions. I am a graphic designer by trade. I have a lot of experience in the design and printing industries, and I'm now working also for the internet type things, electronic stuff. We offer solutions. So with the group of services, we offer essential graphic design and marketing. We offer essential IT solutions or security for your internet. We offer essential green, clean janitorial services, and we also offer essential health and wellness. And this is a loosely formed group of entrepreneurs who are of like mind and wanting to do things that are helpful to people. And with my own background, and I'm really excited to be working with the Right Side of Aging, and putting things together and making it look good and have content that is exciting and upbeat and so forth. So I thank you for that.
Well, I am looking forward to working with you, and what's nice about what your talents are that you probably are not aware of is that you've assisted me in putting some flyers together, and I said, here's what I'd like to see, but then you saw an additional way to make it more eye-catching. Is that what you feel you are strong in? In other words, you see stuff that people don't see yet? Is that right?
Absolutely, and there's times when I see stuff that doesn't belong there.
Mm-hmm. Right. Now, the interesting thing is that we have a flyer that we are putting together for an upcoming event on sales and what have you, and you were able to capture the essence of it and also keep it so that it's informative. In your activities in putting flyers together, are there certain tips that you'd like to share that are important?
Sure. If you're going to be putting something together for an event or an educational situation that you want the information to get out there for people, one of the first and most important things that I look at is do not try to put too much in it. Keep it simple, and avoid having white space trapped inside. One of the basic design tenets is balance and white space. And if you've got a piece of white, white space is defined as something that is not inked. So if it's in the middle of a page and it's got nowhere to go, that's where the eye goes, and that's not where you want the eye to go. You want the eye to go to what it is that's your main point. And then from there, you want the eye to go where you want it to go. And I can help direct those things for people.
When someone calls you, what's the procedure? Do you visit with them or try to do as much by phone? What is your ideal way of operating?
As much by phone as possible, obviously, because you mentioned earlier, time is very important. And I ask as many questions as possible. I want to get a good sense of what the project is, whether it's a magazine like yours, or if it's just a flyer, or even just business cards. But I do also need to sit down with the person and present ideas on paper and get an idea of what they like and what they don't like. I'm a graphic designer. I'm not a mind reader, and I'm very bad at that.
There's a market for that too, I guess.
I'm sure there is. But the thing about the mind reader thing is that it's not unusual for people to say, I don't know, just make it look good. Well, that's not a lot of direction for me. So I take my best thoughts, I put them down. But you know what? If you don't like it, now we have a place to start. Now I know what you don't like, so let's try and figure out what you do like.
Right. Now, if someone's interested in getting a hold of you, what's the best way to do that?
I would call me at 248 238 1894.
Okay.
Okay.
That's 248-238-1894. And of course, we have our safety net phone number, 888-489-8980. And one of the tips that I have picked up over the years in terms of putting the graphics and copy together is that many times I know what I'd like to say, but I don't know quite how to say it. Do you help people in that direction?
I bring a lot of things to the table, and the most important is that I have the ability to write. I am a writer, I am an editor, I am a designer, I have a photography background. And people, if you're going to go to print by yourself, do yourself a favor, give me a call. I'll be happy to take a look at it and just point out any glaring mistakes or even grammatical problems, because it's so important. You can't take it back if it's in print.
Right, once it's in print. So then with the technology going on today, you can do a lot of this.
You can send it to me.
You can send it to you. And the phone number again is 248-238-1894. And number one top-notch thing that I think anybody should remember whenever they put any sort of a promotional piece together is that so many people are in love with their idea that they overlook the fact that the primary focus is for you to build your business and get clients. So you have to identify who is it that I am trying to reach. Is that right?
That's right. That's right. So if your audience is an audience of older people,
Right.
there's things that you need to think about when you're putting it together. You do
Right.
not use fine print with
Right.
an audience that is older and possibly having vision
Right.
issues.
Right.
And so you put it together so that there's an ease, because the thing you want is for people to read it.
Right. Another tip is that if you identify who you're trying to reach, the vocabulary should be the type that they're accustomed to. So just like you brought out, if you're trying to bring seniors, get seniors' attention, you don't start using jargon like it's cool and that type of thing, right?
Well, seniors today, I think, know what cool is.
Yeah, cool, right.
But there's
but-
other
but-
things that
but
perhaps
they-
don't make sense.
Right, right. So, I'm reminded before we take our break is that about the classic way of presenting yourself, in a way, is really like physical presence, except you're not there and the words are there. So you got to make sure that you have a talented person like Jan Olson that can assist you in putting the verbiage together. And there's this picture of this grandma with a frock and hair and curlers and typical grandma type look.
Ike, you said you wouldn't tell.
I'm not talking about you. See, that's
Okay.
the difference about boys and girls. Girls assume anytime you make up some sort of analogy that
It's
it's
about
they.
us.
And so the grandma is holding a package of birth controls in her hands, and the caption says, "Always make sure that you show your product to the right audience." And with that
Yes.
thought, we'll take our break, Jan, and look forward to seeing you at our next entrepreneur meeting, 9:15 to 10:30 at Level 1 Bank, Bloomfield Hills. And hope to see you folks, or come out and give us a call. Right now, we'll take a brief break, and we'll be right back. When it's time to move, don't trust all your memories and most prized possessions to just some guys with a truck. Get personalized first-class treatment from bonded and experienced moving professionals. If you're confused about all the details involved in moving from one household to another, call 1-888-489-8980. Is always the concern of who should I call about the utilities? How shall I handle my household appliances? What should I do about my pets? What do I need to handle in advance of the move? For a free brochure titled Practical Hints to Make Moving Day Easier, call Aberdeen Van Lines at 1-888-489-8980. We can even help you in selling your home or any furniture that you may no longer wish for your next move. Let Aberdeen help make your move a dream. So call 1-888-489-8980 now.
If you need a helping hand to stay at home, or maybe you'd like somebody to provide transportation or grocery shopping or run errands for you, or maybe you're going to need help with bathing or personal grooming, or you need home renovations to enable you to stay in that home safely and securely. Or maybe you can't leave your home, but you need somebody to come in and do things like a doctor, a nurse, a podiatrist, a dentist, or to have your prescriptions delivered to you. Well, House Calls on Wheels is the answer to all of that. House Calls on Wheels provides both medical and non-medical services in your home. And all the medical services are covered by insurance. The non-medical services start as low as $10 an hour. So if you or someone you know needs a helping hand at home, call House Calls on Wheels for a free in-home consultation. And that toll-free number is 1-888-489-8980. All right? That's 1-888-489-8980.
And welcome back. If you missed the first segment, just a friendly reminder, Thursday morning tomorrow, and usually almost every Thursday morning from 9:15 to 10:30, we meet at the Level 1 Bank at 37100 Woodward, southeast corner of Woodward and Big Beaver. We have coffee and snacks. You get a chance to introduce yourself as well as get to know other people that are there to help each other. In fact, our mission is to help each other achieve our professional and personal goals so that we all can live a balanced and successful personal life. And you know, in the 60-second elevator pitch, the most important part is, aside from making sure that you express your thoughts as clearly as is possible, and unfortunately a lot of people figure that they'll just wing it and they'll sound okay because they're good at thinking on their feet and they're not quite sure how they're going to feel at that time. Well, I got news for you. No matter how sophisticated and how well you know what you're doing, if you don't have notes in front of you or prompt points, I hate the word cheat cards or what have you. You're not cheating anybody. So rule number one, if you want to be successful as an entrepreneur, make sure that you have clear in your head what you do and customize it to the audience. So rule number one when you're doing your 60-second elevator pitch is use the type of language of the people that are in that room. I give you a little networking tip that has worked well for me. Number one, I always show up earlier than the seminar or get-together is to start. Why? Because this way you can greet people as they come in, and depending on how the person comes across, some are nervous Nellies and they just want to get into the room, so you obviously don't come on like gangbusters and make them feel uncomfortable. But you find out, hey, my name is Ike Engelbaum in my case, so, and I'm glad you're here. What is it that you do? What prompted you to come? So the people that are running the group appreciate that you're a greeter, and many times if you come early, chances are the presenters may have forgotten something. So you help them in getting, let's say they forgot to bring in a particular item that they needed for a demonstration. So all of a sudden you become part of that team. And when people arrive and see you near the greeting area, they assume that you're more important than you really are, which ain't bad. Don't fool anybody. Don't take away credit from the presenters. But by the same token, you suddenly have an opportunity to meet people before they come in. The other tip when you're doing a presenting of your business or your activity is don't assume that you are there to try to get orders from the people that are in the room. That's instant death if you ever want to build any sort of a business. People that come to these network meetings are there to promote themselves and to get business. So how you use that in a positive way is you ask them in your own way, who is a good client for you so that I can possibly give you some referrals. And likewise, if you are open and you see the cordiality there, and a lot of it is chemistry. And there's a great thought in terms of business, and that is the art of learning to read people. And the more you do it, the more successful you'll be. One of the keys, there are certain people that come across right from the get-go. They're very intimidated, they're shy, and they really don't feel comfortable if you come on glad-handed. So you, in a way, use psychology in terms of dealing with those type of people. And you know something interesting? I've had it happen more times than I can keep track of. Many times you see someone sort of standing on the corner, and you feel, this person isn't worthwhile, taking time away from the people that are, jovial and what have you. I've found that some of those people are the best contacts you have. They just can't come across at that point. They haven't been seasoned, so to speak. And one of the best ways that you can ingratiate yourself to someone is helping them. You know the old saying, what goes around comes around? When you're networking, you're not there to be self-centered. Cannot tell you the importance of when you're doing your 60-second elevator pitch, assuming you've arrived early. I try not to be the first person to do my pitch, and if possible, ideally be the last one. Why is that, Ike? Well, the reason for that, if they get around to you last, you've already heard everyone else's 60-second elevator pitch. So when it's your turn, you can customize your presentation to the group that's there. And the more personalized you can be, the more successful you will be. Some of the top-notch speakers, and I'm talking about world leaders, and the classic example I'm always thinking of is Ronald Reagan. When he made a presentation, in his speech, he would say, I met Mrs. Elliott in St. Louis, and she said this. Suddenly it's become personalized. I don't know, there was a Mrs. Elliott in St. Louis, but it certainly got his message across well. There is more to get across, but not today. I've run out of time, and I don't leave this program without my favorite parting thought, which is, if you really want to get anything done in life, you'll find a way. And if you don't, you'll find an excuse. And there's no excuse for not achieving your dreams and goals in America, because it is the greatest country in the whole world. Remember, a goal is just a dream with a deadline.
WNZK has available a few good hours of airtime for a few good programs to serve their communities. Radio is better